Good morning, guys. It's Pastor Andy. Today is Sunday, January the 26th. So we're going to be looking at Proverbs chapter 26 together this morning. Well, good morning. Today we're looking at Proverbs chapter 26. And Proverbs 26 deals with two types of people. And it's important for us to learn about these two types of people so that we don't fall into the trap of being either one. Now, last month when we looked at Proverbs 26, I pointed out two verses 4 and 5, that say, don't answer foolish arguments of fools, or you will become as foolish as they are. Verse 5 says, be sure to answer foolish arguments of fools, or they will become wise in their own estimation. And while that looks like it could be contradictory, we went into that pretty deep last month. So if you've got questions about those two verses, look back at the devotional we did last month on December 26th. So the first person that we've got to be careful that we don't fall into the trap of being like is the fool. And the fool is talked about a lot at the beginning of this chapter. Talks about how we should answer them, when we shouldn't answer them. Talks about not trusting a fool. If you're an employer, not hiring a fool. But then there's also the second part that talks about another type of person, and that's the lazy person. And you know, all through God's Word, we see Him using so many different people. We see Him using people who struggled and had a rough past. Look at Rahab the harlot, who was a prostitute, and God redeemed her and saved her, and she became in the line of Jesus Christ. Look at David, the man after God's own heart. He was a murderer. He was an adulterer, and God used him in a great way. But there's one type of person that no matter where you read in the Bible, you never find God using. One type. Do you know what it is? Do you know who the only type of person God never used in the Bible is? It's the second person that we need to be careful of in Proverbs 26, and it's the lazy person. God never uses lazy people. And as believers, we ought not be lazy. But the verse that jumped out at me in this whole chapter that I want to talk to you and just point out for just a minute is verse 17. And at first glance, it's kind of a funny verse. So I'm going to read it to you, and then I want to talk about it for just a minute. Interfering in someone else's argument is as foolish as yanking a dog's ears. You ever done that before? I mean, yanking a dog's ears. Have you ever grabbed a hold of a dog's ear and pulled? What's going to happen to you? You're going to get bit. They're going to turn on you. And that's what the Bible's teaching us here. Jumping into somebody else's argument is going to get you as the one who's attacked. They'll both turn on you. So be careful. Don't meddle in other people's business. Stay away from it. The Bible also teaches us not to pick up another person's offense. So if it's someone we care about and they're in the middle of an argument, stay out of it. Because don't pick up their offense. Don't get involved in it. Stay away from it. After it's done and you want to console or you want to counsel your friend, then do that. But when you're in the middle of an argument, stay out of it. I don't know about you, but I've got enough problems of my own to deal with than to jump into other people's and try to solve theirs. And I think we're probably all like that. Matthew in God's Word talks about getting the beam out of our own eye before we mess with the splinter in our brother's eye. So before I jump in and try to correct somebody else, I need to make sure that my life is in line first. So, interfering in someone else's argument is as foolish as yanking a dog's ears. None of us are dumb enough to grab a dog and just jerk it by its ears because we know we're going to get bit. I hope that you'll get into look at this chapter. There's a lot of stuff in here talking about arguing and fighting and talking about the foolish person and talking about the lazy person. So I hope you'll study. I hope you get in God's Word. There's some really neat stuff in here as you study and as you read. Today's Sunday, so I hope you're on your way to church. I hope you're getting ready for church. I hope you're going to be in church today. If you attend Open Door, we have an awesome day planned. I've got a couple of little surprises getting ready for Football Sunday that's coming up next week. So if you're an Open Door person, I look forward to seeing you. I want you to know I prayed for you already this morning by name, brought you before the Lord, and I'm excited about our service today. So don't miss it. I'll see you in a little while. God bless you. Have a great day.